The Frank Haith Show, brought to you by Don Thornton Cadillac, Pepsi, River Spirit, TTCU, the credit union, and St. Francis Health System. And now your host, Bruce Howard.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Frank Haith Show. I'm Bruce Howard, joined by the head basketball coach at the University of Tulsa, Frank Haith. And for you this week, obviously a great win at home against UConn, and then in a game where you were not the favorite on the road at the league favorite UCF, you certainly played well enough to win, didn't you?
We did. I thought we played extremely tough, hard-nosed. We gave ourselves a chance. We got off to a good lead. We looked like we were in command of what we wanted to do. They made some plays in the second half. It just enough. We just didn't have enough to finish that game off. But I'm really proud of how hard we played.
So the Golden Hurricane going 1-1 on the week, and our first highlight will be TU taking on UConn right here at the Reynolds Center. That's when the Frank Haith Show continues in a minute. We're back on the Frank Haith Show, and Coach, the first game of the week was Tulsa taking on UConn, and man, at the Reynolds Center, we have had some great games between these two programs, haven't we?
We have. You know, they have a new coach now, but you know, same UConn in terms of their reputation, who they are as a basketball program. They got terrific guards, and we knew it was going to be a great game. After
last week where Tulsa fell twice in a couple of tough games, the Hurricane really looking to get it going at home against this UConn team. And for the Hurricane, they had won all 4 meetings previous at the Reynolds Center, although many of them were close. In fact, there were a couple of overtime games between TU and the Huskies. Let's take a look at TU taking on the UConn Huskies as the Hurricane ready to come out here at the jump. And Coach, I thought you guys were ready to go, weren't you?
We were dialed in. You know, we had a couple of really good days of practice after the SMU loss, and I felt good about our mindset. There's Daquan using an up fake to get the guy up, and a nice finish in the lane area.
That tied the game at 2, and now with UConn taking a 7-2 lead, here's a good, strong move by Martins Igbanu.
Yeah, and Martins has really developed that, you know, face-up, rip drive, and great finish there.
And again, another good play by Daquan Jeffries, being aggressive and going to the hole.
Yeah, good quick second jump, getting that rebound after a missed shot, rebound his own shot attempt.
And then your instant offense guy off the bench, Jariah Horn, gets going.
He gets going here, and you know, he obviously you know, he comes in the game and he knows what our expectations of him as being a scorer. There's a good pass by Darian Jackson. He played awfully well.
2 straight 3-pointers by Jariah Horn. And the Golden Hurricane extended their lead to 14-10 at that point.
We really wanted to go at them inside here on out-of-bounds play. Good execution there by Martin.
And they weren't double-teaming Martins as much as the other teams had last week. Right?
No, they were sending guards down digging, which opened up the outside shot kickback, so it was easier for Martin to throw back out there. Another good shot by Jariah off the bounce.
So Jariah Horn really getting it going. That's a basket by UConn that kind of kept them afloat. And this is, again, good offensive rebound, good energy.
Good patience. You know, there they are digging. Adams come down, but really good patience. Chinning that ball by Martin, good finish.
So the Golden Hurricane continuing to have the lead, but it is going back and forth, and major play there for you.
Well, something we want to do. We want to get out and run. And there's a good outlet by Sterling. Nice pass by Darian. No dribble. There's no dribble in that transition play.
And Darian Jackson giving you some good minutes, huh?
Yes, he's really good defensively and offensively.
And when you're feeling it, you're going to make a shot even when the guy kind of has a hand in your face.
Well, and just, you know, ready hands, ready feet by Jariah. And, you know, they changed their lineup to size down, and something they're not used to, and that allowed them to mess up on their ball screen coverage there.
And there's Darian Jackson scoring for you here late in the first half.
Real good finish by Darian. You know, execution while OB plays, and we recognize the mismatch there, and there's Daquan on a post-up.
And you did that quite a bit during the course of the game, recognizing the mismatches, especially when they went small, right?
Yeah, when they went small, and then they switched some of our ball screen stuff, so they got caught with a little guy guarding a big guy, and we did a good job of finding those guys. And you can see we shot the ball well from the free throw line and from the floor and from 3, you know, rebounding, we're right where we needed to be. So we had a really, really good half.
Absolutely, and the Hurricane leading by 5 over UConn, but obviously you have another 20 minutes to play, and after shooting red hot in the first half and holding UConn down to 42%, you knew that maybe those percentages might squeeze a little bit, and here in the early second half you get something going with Martins again.
Well, we wanted to establish post-up inside paint early in the second half, and good pass by Lawson, good finish by Martins, and that's a great drive by Curran. Jalen had 4 fouls, I think, or 3 fouls at that time. We wanted to be aggressive with him.
And again, you're kind of keeping UConn at bay, but this gives you a little bit more of a cushion, a 10-point lead.
Scored a couple buckets on our out-of-bounds plays, and that was a good execution right there. Nice shot by Curran.
That driving shot by Elijah Joyner gives you back your 10-point lead.
Something we're encouraging Elijah to be more aggressive off ball screens.
And now it's 12, and another shot from Jariah Horn, who would lead the way and have a new career-high 27.
Good pass by Darren. They went zone. We attacked it. And that's another transition play by us. And early offense, sharing the ball. Nice shot. And, you know, that puts us up 14 right there.
Probably had more transition baskets in this game than any time in recent memory.
We're starting to run better and execute better. And again, that's Curran driving that ball from going right to the hoop.
And again, the Golden Hurricane keeping UConn at bay. It was mostly a double-digit lead in the second half, although they would close that down a little bit, and there's Jariah again.
Good drive by Elijah, getting behind that pass. Jariah, good finish.
This is a good return pass, if you will, to Daquan Jeffries.
Yeah, he had a smaller guy on him. He fell down, and a good pass by Curran.
And again, there's Curran, and Curran Scott had a good game for you, didn't he?
Solid, really good down the stretch.
Ended up with 9 points, very important. And there's a drive by UConn as Jalen Adams, their fine player, made it a 6-point game. And so now you're making some plays to try to just close things down.
There's a heck of a catch by Daquan there from Darren. And we made our free throws down the stretch. I mean, the one thing that really, you know, we let him score too quickly there. Right. But other than that, we did what we needed to do in terms of making free throws and getting the ball in bounds.
Here's the clinching run out for the Hurricane as they get that lead back up to 10 points. And they go on to the victory, a very satisfying victory over a good UConn team, and always good to finish off a game like this.
Yeah, I was real pleased. Like I said, our guys fought hard this ball game. We had good execution on both ends, and just a well-played basketball game by us.
Connecticut hitting a shot very late to make it 89-83, but there you see it. Obviously, Adams had a good game for Connecticut, but look at the 27 for Jariah Horn. What a tremendous performance by him, a new career high.
Yeah, Adams scored a lot of points late in that game, but you know, I think they shot 42%, but if they don't get some of those buckets, those quick layups there at the end, they shoot under 40. But really, really, really pleased with how well we shot the ball.
Team effort, of course, with other guys pitching in as well, and TU with one of their better shooting performances of the game. So you got to feel good about how that game went, huh?
Yeah, I do. I think we played really, really well, and something we can build on.
Absolutely. So the Hurricane winning at home, can they go on the road and get a big victory against UCF? We'll find out next on the Frank Haith Show. We're back on the Frank Haith Show, and Coach, you get ready to go to Orlando to take on the UCF Knights, the favorites in the American Athletic Conference, and your team came with the right mindset and really played a terrific game, I thought.
I thought we were right on point, Bruce. I thought our mindset was right, and I thought we played with the great aggression, toughness that you need to play against a team on the road, and we were ready to play.
You always worried in road games that, you know, they might bury you early, you know, and the crowd gets into it and that sort of thing. And you guys eliminated that totally with a good start.
Right from the start. We were sharing the ball. We were playing in transition. We were defending. I mean, they struggled getting a good look early in the game.
So Tulsa did indeed get off to a great start. The game at CFE Arena in Orlando, Florida, on the campus of UCF. And there you see the night, and you're hoping to make it good night for the UCF team. And early on, that was exactly right, and a really, really good ball movement for your team.
Yeah, they scored 6 points, and then we went on like a 17-6 run where we just really executed well. There's Jariah coming in the game. We knew once we went small, Taco would have a tough time matching up with us, and they went a lot of zone, but we were still executing very well.
Yeah, you said 17-6. That was a score, and it was a 17-0 run, wasn't it, Coach? I mean, what were you doing well here? We
were sharing the ball. We were getting good shots, but we were defending. And I said this before, getting clean rebounds. We got clean rebounds, so we were able to run. But there's a good pass by Darian and a nice shot by Elijah on a great play on a steal there.
Yeah, and you guys, as you mentioned, sharing the ball well, doing a nice job.
Good drive by Martins. We talked about him driving from the perimeter, rip drive, and attacking their bigs.
And the Hurricane at that point leading 13-6, but it'll go on. And there's Darian Jackson. That's some of the things he can really give you is that
speed, quickness, toughness. Getting his hands on loose balls. Right there, he got his hand on a loose ball, which resulted in 2 fast break layups.
And so you'll get to see this again. It's DeQuan Jeffries coming up with the ball, but I think as you mentioned, it was actually Darian that popped it free.
Yeah, his activity in the zone. Now that he knows positioning, he can utilize his speed and quickness.
So a 17-0 run for Tulsa. Obviously UCF is a good team, and they'll come back and score some points. But there's Jariah Horn for you.
Jariah, really good job. And there's, DeQuan blocking the 6'11" kid's shot on one-on-one. That's a heck of a play. And then, nice sharing the ball right there, squeezing the defense. Another transition bucket for us.
And the Golden Hurricane up at that point, 22-9. And the lead would be as large as 15 in the first half.
They went zone, so nice corner. We knew we can attack in the corner. Nice corner 3 by DeQuan. Again, squeezing the defense. Elijah and penetration and transition right there. Nice finish. We're up 14.
Yep, and the Golden Hurricane continuing here down the backstretch in the first half, and Sterling Taplin with a nice basket inside. That was one where they had made a little bit of a run and Sterling stopped it.
Big shot there. I thought it was a little bit of contact there, but good finish there in the lane area. And as you can see, we played really well in the first half. We out-rebounded them. We had 11 fast break points. Our bench came in and played very well. And obviously you can see our shooting percentages compared to their shooting percentages.
Yeah, and UCF was even lower than that, 28% earlier on in the half. So your team really came out intensely. And usually when you see that, it is manifesting itself in how you play defense and rebound, right?
No question. And our aggressiveness, our toughness is where it needed to be to win that ball game on the road.
And here, Sterling Taplin gets it going here in the second half, and you're up by 9.
Still we didn't, we battled hard here in the second half. Obviously the game slowed down a little bit. There was a lot more free throws thrown, a lot more foul calls, and it kind of slowed the rhythm of the game down a little bit.
And UCF, as you might expect, making a run, and it's just so hard to defend the 7'6" Taco Fall.
Well, they did a good job of going inside against us in the post, against our zone. But there's a good steal, good finish by DeQuan, put us back up 5.
A terrific run out for the Golden Hurricane. Had a choice of 2 different players you could throw it to, and it ended up going to DeQuan for the big one-hand jam.
I thought like I said, we got a couple transition buckets because our activity defensively, that we just let him get too deep right there. We were in some foul trouble at that point in time, but we let him get the ball too deep, and he's going to finish those.
Chris Barnes gives you a little lift there.
Nice shot off the bounce there by Chris. I think it was late in the clock. Good finish.
And Taco Fall went out because of foul trouble. Unfortunately, they had a couple of big guys that can play too.
Yeah, this kid had a really good game. He was like a 30-some% free throw shooter, made 7 of 8. So Chad banks this shot off the glass on the wing, which is, almost a corner, which is a tough shot.
Yeah, it makes you shake your head a little bit, Chad Brown, with that basket. But then you go back inside and you get the foul.
We knew what we needed to do to get a bucket in the paint area, and Martins makes his free throws here.
And the Golden Hurricane tying the game up. UCF then took the 1-point lead, and again they got it deep to Colin Smith, who then gave them a 3-point lead. But down the stretch here, you get a really nice play by DeQuan Jeffries following his own.
Yeah, much like the game against UConn, where he was quickly get his missed shot.
And that's a tough call.
Tough call.
Almost had your guy in position, but they get the basket. Now they're up by 6, but your team now recovers from that.
We do. We get ourselves a chance to get right back in it. Nice attack right here by Martins. Get back on the free throw line, being aggressive. It's what you need to do. You don't need to settle and panic, but I thought we were right there. Still
down by 4. Boy, this is a tremendous play.
Great play in transition by DeQuan. Nice pace, crossover. He's really gotten better with his off-the-bounce stuff. And it's a 2-point game.
Yep, you get a stop and you've got a chance here. And boy, that
just
was just
tough.
Yeah,
the play was to Kern, I think, over there on the perimeter, but tough play.
And now here, a smart play for your point guard. Sterling Taplin gets fouled, and he's got a chance to go to the free throw line.
Yeah, and he does a good job there, getting the defense leaning. So we got a tie game with 47 seconds here.
Again, they Almost.
That's a tough one.
That's a tough call. You did a good job of digging there, but there was a little bit of contact, and unfortunately they take the 2-point lead, and now you're down by 4.
But a good execution right here in out-of-bounds play, and we get a 3, cut it to 1. Cut it to 1. We foul, they make 1, miss 1. We have a chance to now at least tie it up.
Here's the miss. You got plenty of time.
Plenty of time, and I thought, Sterling, we were going to go with it, and he did a great job. He got by the big kid right here. Thought he had a lane to shoot it, and he tried to opt to pass it, and but you can't fault our guys' effort, and how they competed against a team that's one of the best teams in our league, and picked to win the league. So I'm proud of our effort. We got to build on it. It's 2 games. I think we put ourselves in a chance to win it, and we just weren't able to finish it.
You see DeQuan Jeffries leading the way with 15 points and 9 rebounds. Sterling had 14 points in the contest. TU shooting did go a little bit south toward the end, but 40% certainly is a winnable effort, especially when you hold UCF to 37%. Your effort and your energy on defense was on point.
It was. We had the right game plan to defend these guys, and you talk about the numbers, and that's what you got to do to give yourself a chance to win.
In a moment, we'll be back with more on the Frank Haith Show as it continues to be busy here in the American Athletic Conference. We're back on the Frank Haith Show, and in our feature segment, it's the community service segment. And again, your kids giving back. This was part of a really athletic department-wide effort, but the Tyson Chicken event every year is special, isn't it?
It is, and all of our student athletes are involved with it, but we particularly want our guys to understand the importance of giving back.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at Tulsa getting involved in the Tyson Chicken Drive and the chance to load up some trucks and get them going.
We love this day every year when we can serve the community bank of Oklahoma, food bank of Oklahoma. It's always a great evening. I see our kids having a lot of fun, and you know why they're having a lot of fun? Because they know they're giving of themselves for people in the community. It's always a favorite night. We're having a lot of fun again tonight.
It means a lot to me. Where I come from, I'm involved in the community a lot, so coming to a place like Tulsa, I think it's good for me because I like doing it a lot.
It's an amazing thing. I mean, it means a lot when you kind of come from nothing and then get to something and be able to help out somebody that was in your position. It's always a blessing to be able to give back because it kind of makes you feel good and know that like one day you'll be able to help them out and they'll be able to help somebody else out. So it's always good to pass along a good feeling, a good word. So.
You know, in life, anytime that you give of yourself, you always get in return. And so I think it's a big blessing to these young guys to learn to sacrifice their time and their energy. But honestly, I think they're the ones that end up being blessed.
Back on the Frank Haith Show, and Coach, this Murderer's Row first half schedule for you this week. You've got at Cincinnati and that at home against a very good Houston team. You're playing the top teams here in the first 9 games, aren't you?
Yeah, and you're playing Cincinnati twice, Houston twice.
Right.
So that makes it even more difficult. But, I told our team before Central Florida game, it's just a tremendous opportunity. You got to embrace the opportunity. We get a Cincinnati team on the road. We went down to the wire with them here. Great opportunity. Same thing with Houston. Houston leads our league. They're undefeated in conference play. Oh, actually, they just lost one, but they're top of our league. It's just a tremendous opportunity for us.
Yeah, and last year at Cincinnati, without Sterling Taplin, you guys played them right down to the wire.
Yeah, and I think we're used to how to play against their zone, their matchup zone, but we got to shoot the ball well against them. And then you got to defend. Those guys got to keep them off the glass.
Absolutely. That'll wrap it up for the Frank Haith Show. We'll talk to you next week. So long, everybody.
The Frank Haith Show, brought to you by Don Thornton Cadillac, Pepsi, River Spirit, TTCU, The Credit Union, and St. Francis Health System. The Frank Haith Show has been a presentation of Golden Hurricane Sports Properties and a Kane Vision production.